great weekend as mine was awesome. I just came back from Philippines special event and bubbled in again. I even made it to top 4 and an ATCP away from my World's invite. Best of all, I talked to a rogue deck that I made, Mega Rayquaza Garbodor with Espeon GX. I received huge interest of the deck and decided to do a deck analysis of this unorthodox deck. It's really a tech-out deck that can only be used in this format, I guess. The concept of this list is to beat the top 4 decks of the format. This is UI Vileplume, Volcanion, Turbo Darkrai, and Mega Mewtwo. And I think Mega Rayquaza with some tags can break the format. So without further ado, let's get into the deck list. So here's the deck list, and I will go through the essential tech cards that make this deck work. First and foremost, this deck plays 4 Floatstone and 1 Olympia, as there are a lot of tech cards and 3D retreat Pokemon in this deck. Plus, you will need a Floatstone on Trubbish as early as possible before Vileplume locks you. Water, the soft counter to DCDY Vileplume, and a great starter of the deck if you aren't going first. Wallproof's ability, Guard Barricade, slows down your opponent's setup and can buy you a lot of time if you are in a bad spot, and best of all, it doesn't stop you from using Hoopa's Thunderous Ring. With the deck view of 4 Floatstones, most of the time I can just evolve my Rayquaza without the link and just leave my Wallproof in the active spot to buy a turn. Garbodor. With an early Garbodor setup, you can lock down both DCDY Vileplume and Volcanion. So I recommend if you are facing any of those 2 decks, you should rush out and set up your Garbodor as early as possible. Espeon GX, this is your perfect Mega Mewtwo counter and also a card that can buy you time, as you could confuse your opponent by just using a Psychic Energy and leave them in confusion whether to attack, retreat, or end their turn. The best of all is Espeon GX Attack Divide can be used to clear the Pokemon that Rayquaza fails to one-hit. Dragonite EX, the reason why I only run 1 Dragonite EX is because this is a heavy item blocking format, and Dragonite EX is the only Pokemon in my whole deck list with 3 retreat costs apart from Garbodor, so it gets kinda tricky when you start it or bench it. A wrong decision of benching it under lock may cost you the game. Trainer Mail. The lack of Trainer Mail in this deck is because I don't think you really need it in the deck. Firstly, because there are too many Vileplumes in the current meta. Plus, Mega Rayquaza deck list usually runs 4 Shaymin and 2 Hoopas, so usually your deck is consistent enough to run on its own without the help of Trainer Mail. Alright, now it's time for me to play a game to show you how great is this Rayquaza deck. Colorless and Psychic only. Haha, can I start first? Please. Yes! I want to complete. So I'll go first. Not a bad start because I got an Ultra Ball. The Skyfield. Hopefully I top deck energy and it will be a perfect start. But if not, it's still fine. I could have Hex Minute in the first turn to stop me. Okay, let's go. Is this the Mega Gyarados deck? Lapras! I hate Lapras! Damn it! Okay. I don't need Hex Minute on a Lapras deck. I need Espeon, okay. My 1-1 attack is all there. I have 2 Shaymin in price. 1 Rayquaza. Okay, let's go for Hoopa. Go for Thunder Ring. I will call for a Shaymin and 2 Rayquaza. Here, I don't need Trubbish in this matchup unless he plays Manaphy, but I can finish Manaphy with just 4 bench. Doesn't matter to me. Alright, got a Psychic Energy. Before my Espeon, Peach, Crushing Hammer or Flare grant me. I got Mega Turbo to my Rayquaza, so I'm gonna evolve my Mega Rayquaza and then turn. as I'm ahead. If you don't, I'm gonna confuse him. So let's see what he do. Or probably I just go for a retreat. Could retreat, Mega Turbo. Okay. Now I need a flow stone. Then a Kanjong hit. And a Lapras. The thing about Lapras deck is that you can like foresee his attack. He needs 3 turns. Okay, whatever. I could go for Sky Return now, which I don't think I will do that. Okay, no. Yeah. This here. Adaptable. Pasa. Wait for the Soul Stone or Olympia. Tricky. I don't know what effect here, but there's nothing I can do. Okay, I will go for the first one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need one more Pokemon. No choice. But depends. Go for the knockout. I have 2 Shaymins in price, so okay, I got Olympia. That's what Lapras is good for. Crushing hammer, crushing hammer, crushing hammer, things like that. Okay, let's see. So this deck can kill Lapras really fast. Bye, Hammer Brain. Yep, so there's finish Lapras in 3 turns. Alright, so there you have it, my unorthodox deck list of Mega Rayquaza. Hope you like it. Next week we will share with you some exciting moments of Guardian Rising pre-release and video games premier challenge to let you have a feel of how to be in a competitive scene in Singapore. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. So till next week, see ya. Bye!